This is Dimitri Lascaris reporting from Oslo, Norway, at the conclusion of the most recent leg of the Gaza Freedom Flotilla 2023, which traveled over the last several days from Gothenburg in Sweden to Oslo. And today I'm with a representative of the Norwegian Union of Municipal and General Employees, Ingunn Eriksen. Thank you very much for speaking with me today.
Thank you.
So could you tell us a little bit about your union's representation? How many members does it have, and what sectors of the Norwegian economy does it represent?
Well, in Norway we say Fagforbundet, and we are the largest union in Norway. And we are a part of the LO Federation that have 1 million members. So we have over 400,000 members. But actually, LO is representing 20% of the Norwegian population. So the trade union is quite strong here in Norway.
Mm-hmm. And your union has taken a quite assertive position with respect to Palestinian rights, including at its most recent Congress, I believe, which was in October of last year. Could you tell us about the policy of the union with respect to the Palestinian cause?
Well, the union have been having a solidarity with Palestine from the mid-80s, but from 2009 we started to work more systematically, and I think it's important to say that to show solidarity with Palestine, what we can do is to break the complicity. That is the strongest solidarity act we can do. So when we formed a collaboration with Norwegian People's Aid, that's agreement in 3 parts, is to change the Norwegian politics here in Norway, and it is to support Palestinian organizations that is a partner of NPA, and it's the 3rd part is to bring knowledge to our members. And that we do with our ambassador corps for Palestine, so that we have regularly delegations to Palestine.
Now,
So
your policy, however, it does explicitly describe Israel as an apartheid state and calls for a boycott of Israel. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We started to call the regime in Israel apartheid long before the reports that we have been seeing these last years. So I think the deputy leader of Fagforbundet used apartheid in an article already in 2013. So we are we have seen with our own eyes how the regime has been apartheid, and even longer since 2013.
And so your union, which as you indicated includes some over 400,000 members, have these 2 elements of its policy, namely characterizing Israel as an apartheid state and calling for a boycott of Israel. Is this now the policy of LO, this larger umbrella organization that includes 1 million Norwegian workers?
Apartheid is certainly used in the LO Congress resolution, and I think it's important to distinguish between supporting the BDS movement, that Fagforbundet has a clear voice, and that we've been doing for a very long time, and to say that we are fighting for an international boycott. So not Norway by itself, but an international boycott of Israel.
And what steps has the union taken, Fagforbundet, in order to implement this policy? What practical measures?
First of all, we said that if we should have this policy, we have to look at the union ourselves. So what kind? Is it Israeli products in our canteen? Is it what about our investments? What about what we are using as material here in the office? So we invested our own investments, and excluded those companies that are involved with the settlements. So that was the first step. You have to clean out your own house before you criticize others. And then we have a campaign against the Norwegian government pension fund, our oil fund as we call it, that is heavily invested in companies that are involved with occupation and settlements. Yeah.
And so when you talk about your union's own investment, you're talking about the pension assets of the union. And approximately, do you know what the value is of those pension assets currently?
No, I cannot give you a precise number of that.
And have you had any progress? Have you made progress in terms of pressuring the government to divest this? I believe it's a sovereign wealth fund that Norway, to divest its investments from companies complicit in the occupation.
The most success we had is with the private banks, actually. Mm-hmm. So we have the KLP that divested from 15, 16, and even 19 companies involved with the settlements, and also Storebrand. Mm-hmm. So we have regular meetings with the private banks, but when it comes to the oil fund, as we say, they have been doing divestments, but I cannot say that is from our pressure. It's the Council of Ethics that makes a recommendation to the oil fund to divest or not. Mm-hmm. Yes, but we are also part of the Don't Buy Into Occupation report. That is a coalition between Palestinian and European organizations to break the European ties to the occupation.
Mm-hmm. And are there other practical steps the union has taken to implement its policy with respect to Palestinians?
Of course, we had a very important conference last year at the parliament on apartheid. So to bring knowledge and political pressure, that is our daily work. Mm-hmm. And we work, of course, with the European network and also the network, Solidarity Network here in Norway.
Mm-hmm. And when the union took the position of characterizing Israel as an apartheid state and calling for a boycott, was there a reaction from the Israeli government? And if so, what kind of a reaction did that elicit?
In the beginning, every time we had a Congress resolution, there would be debates in the newspaper. But I think since we've been doing this work for many, many years, the Israeli embassy know our position. And
so in terms of the Norwegian government, are you as a union satisfied with its response to the union's position on Palestine? And if not, how would you characterize its approach to the plight of the Palestinian people?
I think Norway have a strong solidarity with Palestine long back since the Oslo Accords, which of course we are not happy with, but they are a strong supporter of Palestine and a two-state solution. But we have pointed out several times that it's a double standard. It's not. Norway is not doing enough. We want Norway to forbid goods from every occupation or.
Yes, not just the Israeli occupation, but all occupations.
Yes.
And has the Norwegian government imposed any kind of a sanction at all on the state of Israel for its violations of Palestinian human rights?
Norway does what all other countries does. They condemn. Mm-hmm. They are very concerned and they condemn, but there's no sanction. Mm-hmm. the last thing they did was that to label goods from the settlements, and that is not enough.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that the Norwegian government has joined with other NATO governments in delivering weapons to the Ukrainian military. Certainly it hasn't done that with respect to the Palestinians. I think it's fair to say that that's an example of this double standard you've mentioned. Why do you think that Norway, that its government, despite this sense of solidarity with the Palestinian cause, has adopted this double standard with respect to Israel?
I don't think that is only a Norwegian problem. I mean, as we see it, is the Palestinian I don't know how to say it in good English, but the point is that the UN created the problem with Palestine. I mean, it's so it's a long history where the injustice on the Palestinian people started already in the UN.
Right.
So I think all the countries, all the UN nations have a problem to deal how to make a fair solution for the Palestinians.
But in the case of Norway, do you think that the Oslo Accords are somehow influencing the government's position and perhaps causing it to be reticent to take concrete measures to support the Palestinian people?
I think the problem is that we had a part of the Oslo Accord. Of course, that is nothing that we are proud of today, but Norway took a position there to work for a two-state solution, and since there is no clear Palestinian voice to say one-state solution or two-states solution, Norway followed the route of the Oslo Accords, and that is what we like to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've very much appreciated your speaking with me here today, and I look forward to maintaining the dialogue in the future as we cover the plight of the Palestinian people. And this is Dimitri Lascaris reporting again from Oslo, Norway.